Appearance Board for March 5th. Roll, Ms. Gordon.
Here.
Mr. Eden.
Here.
Ms. Booth.
Here.
Mr. Jerem.
Here.
Stara.
Here.
Mr. Nezra.
Here.
Mr. Jumper.
Here.
I'm here. Mr. Hubbard is absent. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, sir. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Updates to the agenda.
Yeah, flip to the second page. Number 1 under the combo section, Mr. Fish Seafood Market withdrawn by staff. Number 3, Grand Strand Psychic withdrawn by staff. For the building permit applications, number 4, 1101 Ram withdrawn by applicant. Number 6, Thomas Allen Plant withdrawn by staff. And that is it.
All right, thank you. First up, Sun City Cafe. Your name for the record?
Blanchard, so fast signs.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. 2-inch thick sandblasted foam letters, stud mounted, but flush to the building.
Beautiful.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Jerem, second Mr. Edens, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Rebel Bar. What? Name for the record? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Same type of construction as what Coy was? Pretty close?
Yeah, yeah. It's the exact same type.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Jerem, second Mr. Edens, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Top notch.
Simple, the door is currently black, and then the one stop is removed.
Will the blade sign be still there?
Say that again?
The blade sign?
No, it has been removed. We are having trouble keeping it for some reason with that brick right there, it just will not hold.
Motion. Second.
Motion, Mr. Jerem, second Mr. Edens, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Beach golf cart. Switchboard knowledge on.
Yes, it has been completely redone. We have obviously the wiring because we won't be using it. And we did reduce the size. The raceway will.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay.
Nezra, second Mr.
Thank you.
Jumper, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you. Ben Masters. Name for the record?
Brendan from Yesco Signs.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go for it.
I'm sorry, yes. There's no sign in. Oh.
Somebody missing a sign-in sheet? Uh-oh. Call him back.
Was there a signature in it? Sure. Sorry about that. That's okay. That's all right. I mean, the first one, it's been so fast, you know, you guys know, it's in and out, so.
Got that, kids?
All right, go ahead and go for it.
Replacing the road sign with a shorter monument sign with 1/2-inch push-through acrylics. And then the building sign will be 1/2-inch PVC painted letters with a 1-inch thin off of the building. So 1.5-inch projection from the wall, and they'll be lit up with the current spotlights on the building.
You don't want to look at wizard on the building?
No, I wanted the words because square footage.
I think to balance the freestanding sign, you're going to need a little bit of landscaping at the bottom because it still looks a little
It
awkward.
needs something around it, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks awkward.
We can do landscape around it, just small, low maintenance bushes
Well,
around it.
the staff will help you
Yeah,
guide
of
you
course.
on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's part of their way their trademark logo says. Look at it.
Motion to
Okay.
approve.
Second.
Mayor?
Jerem? second
With
Mr.
landscaping around it.
The landscaping blue.
Edens?
Jeff, are you second?
Yes.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, enjoy your weekend.
Just a second. Vintage Boutique.
Bunches of coffee.
Name for the record?
Gerald Blanchard?
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. Much
Okay.
better.
No,
Aye.
yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We dropped the background off, like you asked, suggested last time, same size sign exactly, we're moving that light over the door, check moving the light over.
Yep.
Pretty much
There's
it.
there's the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hilton Grand Vacations. Trying to speed the permitting process up. Your name for the record?
Carson Ortho.
Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I will.
What changed from the last time that we approved this?
So prior to this, we had a pan sign, but during the survey, we found that we weren't able to mount a pan sign. So now we're proposing a flat panel. Everything else is staying the same, freestanding signs are staying
Why
the same.
can't you do a sandblasted HD
Yeah.
or sign or something else? I mean,
That's one of the things we suggest.
I thought we were just replacing the face, right?
Yeah,
So now you're replacing the whole sign.
no, so the whole sign was a flat panel before, so we were replacing the whole flat panel, and then we were putting a pan sign up there. But just due to the mounting structure on the building, we're now having to do a flat panel again.
The blue-green was flat?
Yes.
Well, those letters were stand-up for some reason, but.
I did
Thought they were
Yeah,
half inch
Yeah, they
wide
had,
too.
they were somewhat,
I mean, I'd make a motion to approve for a sandblasted HD
yeah,
sign.
that's the only thing I think
That's
it's
what
more.
works.
I think that would suit the building well.
But if that's a big sign, then that's good.
Yeah, they were.
Or something.
Yeah, they had some relief.
Sun next week.
Yeah. But they were routed letters on top of the sign face.
Right.
I will second an HDU sign.
Fine with an HDU sign?
I can just talk to the customer about that.
No. If they're not fine with it, they can come back, but you're gonna need some type of relief in that letters than just flat. So we'll approve it as that. If you wanna do it that way, great. If not, you can come back with another option.
So our letters will have dimension to them on the flat panel.
You didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
It's just that the pan itself on the sign, it was just a pan sign, so it had some depth to it, so this just
Yeah,
goes to
it'd
it.
be, yeah, what you approved it for, yes.
So you're saying not a pan sign, but still embossed with the logo?
Correct. So the letters will have dimension to them. They won't be completely flat.
Well, what kind of relief are we talking?
The
They're,
embossing is like a half inch.
Yeah, but I mean, I
She
think
said-
they're gonna be 3/8.
3/8.
About what the blue-green was. I mean, it is pretty far off the road.
It
It
is.
is.
It is, it's.
I'll retract my second.
So
We'll retract.
make a motion, if the letters are 3/8 off,
Okay.
aluminum panel.
We'll make them update the application.
Yeah, okay.
If it isn't.
All right.
Second as well.
Second, Mr. Mendoza, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Gotta have relief on those letters. Howard of Elderberries.
That was the sign box that we denied last time. This is the
Signage, the ASL signs.
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
So we have been before you with replacing the box, but that was denied, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the box, and we're gonna replace it with channel letter cloud-formed faces on a raceway.
Looks much better.
motion to approve. Thank you for taking the suggestion.
Second.
Mr. Nestor, second Mr. Jumper, all in favor? Any opposed? So moved. Mr. Chairman?
Okay, Mr. McCoy's gonna be recusing himself. He works for the landlord, Planet Fitness. You're still under oath.
Yes, I
Okay.
am. Customer needs to go ahead and just add another set of channel letters to the building on the side view.
Facing 17 or?
Yes, it is.
And you'll make a repair with the boxes moved?
Yes.
Okay.
There's the only thing that's there is that little white.
Motion to approve. Okay, Mr. Jumper has a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Edens, discussion, all in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion approved, thank you.
Thank you.
You get Mr. McCoy.
All right, what we got? A1 Appliances. Your name for the record?
Mark Belcher?
Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right.
We're gonna have that sign, put what that was, which was approved like 10 years ago. It's flat panel, vinyl laminate. These will be gone. These are.
Well, it's all flat. There's no relief to it.
We don't have can't afford it, can't afford raised letters or anything, so that's why we won't flat vinyl.
Give me a street view.
I will say, even if we were to be okay with the flat, the design of that sign is against everything we've been doing here, which is not allowing a menu board, if you will, to have all these little components on there, sort of suggesting.
I'm fine with the middle part of the sign.
It's
Yeah,
unnecessary,
yeah,
the middle part's fine.
So like at the, people design the sign to take out the little things that
All
are
the
on.
images,
Yeah.
just leave
Leave
their
the
name,
images.
and I would say make the phone number smaller, if anything, but
Okay.
even that would go a long ways towards.
Like a border around it. I think that'll make it.
It'll make a difference.
Not middle name.
I think you
Would
just
you be
take
okay
the
with that?
appliances off from around the side.
And
Yeah.
then make the
The
phone
name
smaller.
kind of tells you it's appliances.
Yeah, but a little smaller, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That'd be okay for you?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the sign with no imagery, just the logo and text as is, with the phone number shrinking by about 50%.
Thank you.
Thank
Is
you.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fifth Third Bank.
Just for clarity on the board, this is a brand new site, so they're asking for the building, the site work, the landscaping, the lighting, and signs, all other
We
pieces.
saw conceptual last time, I believe. I think there were a couple of comments about using more of the coastal theme building, and I think there was a comment about the drive-through signage. So, tell us, names for the record?
I'm Griffin Furlong with Infinity Group.
Ty Cole.
Randy Suther, Sign Art.
And y'all swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? All right, so tell us what's changed. Let's take the building first. Changes to the building.
So what we've done, we've went with the hardy board and the trim versus we had the eaves steel product before. So took your recommendation, went with the hardy part of it. If you go back to the front, I just say, one place we kept just on this piece here is the stove, the rest of it all the way around the building.
That's what we were looking for, so thank you very much on that. And looks like
And we also get the sign to the left side.
that looks a lot better.
Much.
And did anything change with the site layout?
Just with the site layout, we moved the pedestrian access from the north to the east, just with grading, and then there's easements and landscape buffer there. We added the bypass lane, and I think we added about 2 more parking spaces.
So got everything that we asked for there.
Dumpster enclosure.
Dumpster enclosure, yep.
This
All right.
is final?
Yep. And you've got parking lot lighting as well? Okay,
There's photometric here.
there is.
Yeah.
Looks like, looks like we all believe to zeros at the property lines, or about 1 at the property lines.
That's great.
And landscape is very, very simple, but it really enhances the architecture, so it's great.
Yeah, let's look at the monument sign real quick. We didn't see that one last time, so. Got a height of 8 feet. Okay.
I think the only other question we had was like what Chase has done with the LED bar and if it's gonna be lit up. I know you have an LED bar on that land, on the plans. Do y'all have any like inset that
On the
you're lighting
monument
up?
side?
No, on the building, like a green glow look or,
Oh, no.
because I saw the LED
Yeah, if you go to our
bar.
elevations, that doesn't light up.
Okay.
We have ground lighting that just washes.
Okay.
Oh, washes the green and blue. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve if everything's good.
All right, motion Mr. Jerem, second Ms. Tara. Any comments? All in favor? Any opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you for the changes. Market Common Community Church.
Sorry.
Name for the record?
Joseph Wood.
Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Sign in as well.
Okay.
This is for conceptual final for building alterations, awnings, and exterior building mounted lighting.
Essentially replacing some exterior doors, adding some exterior lighting. The current doors are fairly dilapidated. We're just bringing it up to date, trying to match the existing.
Make a
Just
motion.
like a church.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Jerem, second, Mr. Edens. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Flag Street, Lot 3.
For the board, 1 and 2 are kind of connected, so if you need to look at the other one, let me know.
Name for the record.
Tom Miller, Miller's End Services.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. We'll look at both of them kind of together.
That's fine. I prefer fellow. Better.
And I think we saw this last meeting, correct?
I think a couple meetings ago, right, and we tried to address some things, some of the concerns of the board. The layout hasn't changed, but you had asked for some specific things. One is, on this one, we show the building rendering of the storage room, but essentially, one of the bigger concerns was the potential for clutter on exterior AC units, water heat, whatever. The only utilities that will be seen are going to be the AC, and if we go to the landscaping plan, I can kind of show you specifically what we've done with that. The water heater is inside. It's not something that's seen. But if you see what we've done is, in this area right here, we've shielded the AC. We've got them on either side, but we've added some podocarpus to screen the area off. You can see back in these areas that where we've added it. If you go to the back again right here, and Mayor talked about the dumpster that was on the adjacent property. So we have a line of ligustrum that's running along there. Maybe sometimes ligustrum can smell okay. Maybe it might counterbalance what's going on back there. But as we told you in the previous submittal, we tried to position these buildings as far away from the property line as we could and fit this in. So you can kind of see where we've identified each of the AC units. This is the storage room if you want to go to that rendering, but that was probably there you go, basics of that. I mean, pretty simple, but still utilizing the same materials. And I wanted to point out to the board, and actually, I don't know how this can be integrated into a motion, if there's a motion that's going to happen, but in the end, we were not satisfied with too much of a contrast that you've seen on 7th. So what we've done is and this is closer to the renderings, where these will be the contrasting brick. They will both have the Savannah ivory as part of the grout. So we are using colored grout on that.
That's a good move, Tom.
I've actually got. Well, I should have another piece. Okay. Well, yeah. So it'll the tie that binds is the grout. The brick will show enough more contrast and be closer to what the rendering suggests.
I drove by there the other day and looked at the grout, and I wasn't really happy with it.
Yeah,
And
I think in retrospect, it works better if it's on the same building. The fact that they're separated from building to building made it not succeed. Because I've done this many times before, changing grout on the same building, and it works. But I'll even admit to you, it's not where I wanted it to be. So everything I think is basically the same as we had before. We had looked. Mr. Benezer had mentioned about the corner unit. There's really no way to simplify it. There's 3 bedrooms on the top floor, so to go to a smaller unit was going to be a drastic change in look from what we had here. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Mr. Miller, just a question: is there any room for the back side behind that parking garage for any larger trees? Because your bedrooms are all upstairs, and I know you would be able to peer right into these things.
I'm sorry, on the back side of this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because because you're going to be, from the second floor there, you're going to be 4/3. You peer right in through those rooms, and you said their bedrooms are in the back.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I said there are bedrooms in the back. You're right. There's actually on the 3rd floor. There's 2 bedrooms that face the street level, and there's 1 bedroom that faces the back, both on the 1st and 2nd. We do have. The sable palms will only get to about a story and a half. So you're right. That's not going to be much. I don't know. I was just asking. In your experiences, sir, I realize you can be in that deck of yours and look out on it, but it's not like it's an apartment building across there where there's constant.
We've had people do funny things through that second. Just say it that way, that's what I'm saying.
I was thinking, say, you kind of protect.
Does that mean we're supposed to put?
Yeah, it might be the other way around, just as much.
Well,
yeah.
we are gonna have, storm windows on those,
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
side,
yeah.
impact rated,
Yeah.
windows.
I'm sorry, Tom, remind me of the size of the podocarpus and the ligustrum.
Well, I think they're both 7 gallons, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
I think I want to go
If you want, yeah,
30 gallon on each one.
30 gallon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, because we're going to need something, ligustrum are a good screen, and you're right, some people love the smell, some people don't, but it could help. But you need something because of the scale of everything.
Substantial coming in.
You need something, and
That's fair.
And also plus at the AC units, I love podocarps, I use it all the time around units, but I always use larger because they're very slow.
Right.
So larger there also.
For the quantity,
Yeah.
still good?
Well, I think if you use 30 gallon, the quantity might still be okay. If it looked like maybe it's a 3-foot spacing, I think, on the podocarpus.
Yeah, I think you'd get away with a 15 gallon on the podocarpus
Yeah,
next to the
sometimes.
AC units,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
gonna be about 2.5, 3 feet
Well,
at
that's
planning,
true. Yeah,
which would be about the height of the AC unit.
These days it depends on the availability. Sometimes a 15 and a 30 are look the same. You never know. But anyway, so something in that range would.
Listen, if we get a yes vote, we will give you 30 gallons.
That's what I was kind of going for. To kind of get my
I'm not gonna quibble.
Okay. Okay. I was trying to encourage you a little.
I would definitely do 30 on the ligustrum for the,
Yeah,
for the dumpster, but I think
And
15 is
15
fine
on the
for the,
podocarpus?
for the
Yeah, we can do.
ACs.
Yeah, like I
Given the
said.
sheer number of podocarpus there.
Yeah, there
I
are
can
a
tell you
lot.
30 gallons are very pricey.
Yeah, but I love them. So,
Yeah.
There's
They
nothing
are,
else.
they are hard to find.
Motion to approve.
I think we buy most of them.
second.
Oh, sorry.
May I ask that the language include, we've already got one under construction in Lot 1, and what I wanted to do was Lot 1 is approved with the 2 different grout colors. And if it's okay with the board, and if it's.
You wanna stay with the same
within-
grout color
I-
for the-
Well, I wanna stay with the same brick combination that we have for what you guys are approving on the first one, which is under construction.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so,
We okay with that?
Yeah,
So this would be landscape adjustments and mortar.
correct.
Well,
Yes.
brick.
Yeah,
It's more brick than mortar, but yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the second from Ms. Boo.
Okay. There's a motion by Mr. Jerem, who was the second?
Ms. Boo.
Ms. Booth, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved for Flag Street, 6th Avenue, Lot 2. Ditto.
Motion to approve.
Second, Ms. Booth, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. All right. Back in 660. See if we can do one on Fire Lake.
We're gonna call up Natalia Skotar, she's the developer here too. I think she stepped out to get the materials, but I'll go ahead and plug in. So there was a lot of concern
She's right
with
here.
any number of things. Let's drag her in here. I'm the tech help on this. Come on, Natalia, so you get sworn in.
I thought you were still on the other project.
Your name for the record?
Natalia Skotar,
And you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I swear.
All right.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to present our project to you, and a special thank you for all the guidelines and assistance that we've got from from the staff members. Like, your feedback was indeed very valuable. Actually, this is not where I wanted to start. Yes, thank you. Let me start with getting you a brief presentation of the neighborhood, just to give you a visual of the buildings that are already existing over here. So this is our proposed site. As you can see, our closest neighbors, if we go clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you could just swipe them one by one. It's not a lot, but it literally shows you that the neighborhood is pretty diverse, and it was somewhat challenging to kind of combine it all together and come up with a design that would fit into the neighborhood, still be modern, still benefit the development of the Myrtle Beach in the way we want it, to look nice, to look pretty. So if you would, we could switch to the pictures, to the renderings of the, oh, actually, I hope that we actually got to over all the key concerns that were presented by the members last time. And one of the concerns was the design, and the second was the trees. So here we can see the trees along the 21st Avenue South. And could you please, no, not that one. Let's go back. No. Sorry. I believe that might, okay, this one is good. It doesn't have the marks, but I wanted to show you. So this particular oak tree, as you can see, it gets exactly over the property. It grows into the property from one side, and from the other side, it gets right into the power line. So even if we really want to save the trees, I'm the tree lover myself, we really can't. So we suggest we replace the tree. The cotton tree, I mean, I don't think that it's a very valuable tree, so we really need to remove this one too, but we are open to replacing every single tree that we will need to cut to proceed with this project. If you please, yes. Oh, so this is the other side. You can see the same cotton tree. So I just wanted to make sure that this is our point. So this is another live oak that grows exactly the same way into the property. So basically this is the stake for the back of the house, and even if we push this unit inside more into the property, it will not really help, because the way the trees are growing, it gets like at least 20-30 feet inside the property. So this tree needs to go as well. And as I said a little bit earlier, we are more than ready to replant the trees right over here in the right-of-way. So that's what I got to say about the trees. And let's get to the pictures of the buildings. I hope that you will enjoy the design this time. So we did incorporate the brick. As you know, our neighbors have the bright red brick, and Nicole is going to show me exactly. We picked the type of brick that our neighbors had. This is bright red, and this is the one that we kind of want to go with. It's a darker brown. It kind of has a little bit of red in it, a little bit of dark brown in it, a little bit of off-white color in it that will really go well with the espresso accent color that we have over here. So I hope that we kind of nailed.
I think the buildings are much more appropriate for the area. I think that palmetto brick there is appropriate. It's complementary to what's there
It's
in
a
the
much
area as
better
well.
brick than the other ones.
It is, not as stark as the red, so it fits your building a lot better. Let's take a look at this site plan real quick.
So we did move unit 1 3 feet inside, so that it gives us an opportunity. Right now we are showing only 4 trees that we are going to be replacing, but we are open to adding at least 2 more trees over here. That is going to bring to the total of 6.
Can I make a comment on your
Sure.
landscape plan? Okay, first of all, your property line is the edge of the sidewalk, is that correct?
Yeah.
But you're allowed to have street trees
No,
out there.
no,
Yeah.
it's right there. See,
Oh, okay, I see.
there's a
I'm
lot
sorry.
of, between the property,
I'm
but we
sorry.
also, remember, we're in an MUH buffer
Yeah.
requirement that has the
So
7 feet.
Yeah, so there are 2 existing trees in there. I guess street trees.
No, there's not. We're showing on that plan that
You're
we're gonna
showing,
add
okay.
those
And
to
I
replace the ones that are up against the
Okay,
hill.
I understand about the oak tree that, Santee Cooper has just destroyed. I mean, that happens all around the city, and I understand that, I would like for you to put in another tree somewhere, which is gonna be difficult because you don't have a lot of room, but but if it is a tree, obviously you can't place a tree that will grow, beyond 25 feet tall, or it'll get back up in the lines again and they will destroy it again.
Well, it goes underground right there. So at the top
Okay.
corner, I don't know if that red dot's the indicator where the pole is.
Okay.
At that point, you go underground.
But why?
And that was the problem, is these trees were hacked to pieces when they were
Before.
young, so they
Yeah.
grew that way, but.
Yeah,
My main concern with the trees, and once again, maybe the replanting and getting them grouped appropriately, is some of the charm of the south end of the beach is when you drive down those avenues, you've actually got canopy
Yeah,
over the street.
absolutely.
Which is part of the charm of the south end of the beach, and that's what I was afraid of losing here, so.
Yeah.
Well, staff gave us the window to actually make those trees placed in the right of way. So we're no longer on the property line.
Okay.
Right now, we're showing 2 in the right of way, but as Natalia said, we're more than willing to do a second, or a third, or even a fourth one.
tree, yeah.
What size
To
are
carry
those?
that, they're 3 inches on the table right now, but, I mean, I know you guys have the latitude to.
Well, if
I mean, I
that's,
think given what you're taking down and trying to get that canopy there from day one, I mean, if you go to a 6 or 8 inch, once again, I know they're not cheap, but they
That's
give that 25, 30-foot height
Yeah.
day one. They will survive in that right away a lot better because they won't be getting the wind off of the trucks and all. You get a little bit better height to the underside of the canopy that protects them as well.
what kind of spacing could we do there? I usually like to keep live oaks.
Try to do about 25.
Yeah, I think 2, you might get a third one.
Third, well, I was gonna say 3 because you can't get them too close because they won't grow
I mean, I'll
properly.
probably pull 25 when we do a field layout off that electrical line to get that distance.
I think 3, yeah.
At 6 inches?
6 to 8, I think what's Mr. McCoy says,
Okay.
is usually a
But
good,
when do you start having to use a tree spade for those
No,
size
they'll,
trees?
they'll come in a 600 gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I plant them at
Okay.
Broadway
yeah,
all the
these
time.
days you can get them that
Okay.
way.
You walk through anywhere at Broadway, the live oaks, they're all trucked in from
Okay.
Georgia.
Yeah, and they do come in containers.
Well, I know Coastal had some monster ones that came in, Coastal Grand.
Charleston area has a lot of nurseries that bring it from Florida too. So. We've had experience with planting 6 and 8 inch trees, so we'll be more than happy to do that.
Okay.
Looks great, major improvement.
Thank you, we were trying.
I'll make a motion with the addition of the 3 live oaks at 6 to 8 inches.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Benezra. Further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? So moved. Thank you.
Thanks, guys, really appreciate it.
All right, Bank of America.
Oh, get this out of the way.
Did he make a switch from using calipers and Signage percentages?
Well, usually you get 12, you get 10 to 12 or 12 to 14.
That's basically caliper.
So that's why
Yeah, but
it's hard to judge.
We usually ask for both. We usually on ponds ask for both measurements, but in the back and forth, he just got that one straight.
yeah, because usually I say
All right,
10 to 12
names
or
of record?
14.
That's what I'm
So
doing.
10 they
You
usually.
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, what we have?
We have Northwoods Shopping Center in-cap units, tenant fit out to replace an existing storefront with stucco finish wall to match. In the adjacent shopping center, you will see more of the stucco with a through wall ATM for Bank of America.
Let me
So
ask
they
you,
got rid of their actual Bank of America to just go to an ATM.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not,
it's a little odd, but can I ask you a
I'm
question?
with the architect, not the real estate.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you what you all were thinking about. I realize there is a safety issue in reference to putting an ATM, but I realize at the same time you have a door there that you have to access to get in behind. But you took all the windows out and everything, and you have this one big blank window. It looks like a store has been boarded up. There seems to be, it would be better if there was some architectural detail.
Are you seeing like false windows?
Well,
This will, so
spandrel glass, yeah.
from wall to wall,
Yeah.
it will be stucco so it won't be a
Well,
boarded up
it's-
glass. The glass will be removed entirely.
Yeah,
It'll
but
be
it
a new
still just looks
wall
like you
infill.
boarded up a building. I'm sorry.
I agree.
So I think the spandrel glass
so-
is the best.
You could go with the spandrel glass and still kind of keep the architecture
Yes,
of the space,
yes.
and
It would be entirely opaque.
That's fine.
glass.
That's fine, we don't
Yeah.
care, as long as it has some architecture,
Yeah.
and as
The
long as it
big
goes with the
security
other,
requirements
the
for
other
ATM
facades,
roofs are-
it'll make them consistent.
No
You
glass.
could-
So
you could
there
go
would be
behind it
an
with a block
exterior
wall. You
wall
could block
behind
it up
Yeah.
and put frames with spandrel glass
Yeah.
in front of it, and it would be waterproof, secure, and it would give the same look as
What
the
you got
rest
there
of
today.
what you
Okay.
have.
I did send this when we received it from the bank with the request, because we're happy to meet whatever design requirements you all had to get an initial feedback. I would have definitely come with that to begin with, but
Yeah, the wall
I
is-
didn't receive
Yeah,
any of that
the doors
feedback
can make the
at
glasses
first,
kind of
so
work.
we
Well,
would,
that
we
we
can
might
bring
have
it
to
to the client
compromise
with a
on.
redesign, certainly, if that is the desired direction.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge of that shopping center, I mean, views are a lot of challenges with that shopping center, but to kind of remove that bit of glass at the very first
And
bay.
it's this
Yeah.
one here, the end.
Yeah,
Could you put the door on the side? Is there,
So there's no paving there, and there's existing landscaping that we don't want
Well,
to.
it kind of drops down there,
remove.
doesn't it? Kind of, it
It's
does.
just, there's a wall that, this half-height wall runs into the existing building there. There's low plantings here.
Well, what I'm saying,
and it's
the
all mulch.
elevation, it slopes from the sidewalk, it slopes back toward the wall.
can you show the Google Street View there?
It's not significantly,
Not significant, but
yeah.
still, but I think there'd
I
still
think
be
you could put a
difficult.
side security door and then just keep the entire thing.
It was a
Basically,
little better.
eliminate the
We were
double
just
doors.
staying
for the-
away from
Everybody
affecting
wants
the
to see
land, because I know that opened some other change, making changes to the
Well, you see the
landscape.
window,
oh, you got
Yeah.
that
And there's
window
a
right
yeah,
there.
you have
window.
windows right there, I guess
That's
it's true.
getting an interior wall put and film, security film, so.
I think our recommendation would be that
Yeah.
those two windows become your security door to get in. You have a false wall built, and then your
We'll have to
glass
remove
across
some of
the
this
front.
planting.
That's
and-
fine.
Well, some of that
I
planting
think
that needs to be
It looks
removed.
bad.
Okay.
It's too old.
Yeah, that planting's 40 years old. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you all are fine with it, I just know that in the
We're very fine with
notes,
that.
okay.
Yes.
Then we'll add a portion of sidewalk just for access.
Conceptual,
A
Yeah.
wall, a wall pack light.
Motion to
you know,
make it a
wall
conceptual.
mounted.
Second.
All right, motion to go to the conceptual, Mr.
Second.
Jerem, second was Ms. Booth, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, so it's been downgraded to conceptual, so you can give your comments without completely denying, basically. So I think the board wants to see spandrel glass in the front, basically put your ATM where the double doors are so you can keep the grid pattern. You really wouldn't have to do a lot to the existing storefront other than make it spandrel. You can put your false wall in the back for your security purposes and your entry door on the side with a small 4-foot sidewalk to get to it with the removal of the landscape. Does that make sense?
So where the ATM goes in the glass portion here this would be a solid panel.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
and then
understood.
glass,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I was
if
just
you're
making
keeping the
sure.
two side lights, you get
Okay.
rid of the double doors and the transom,
Yeah.
and that could be your ATM solid.
Yeah.
And then you put a door in lieu of the glass on the
On the
side.
side, okay.
And
I
whatever
was
you
just
need to
making
do
sure we
interior
knew
for
some
security.
portion here will be solid.
Oh, it has
where
to
the
be.
through
Yeah,
wall-
sure. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
and you could, you might could, instead of having the expense of replacing the glass, you might be able to use film. This is spandrel glass film.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that's a good
yeah.
idea.
That's completely opaque. I mean,
Yeah.
We just want to preserve the frame design that's there today. How's that?
Okay.
Whether you go spandrel glass or film to black it out or whatever, once again, I think the doors and the transom above can become a solid panel for your ATM.
Okay.
Side light remains.
Yeah, and from a security standpoint, you could even then come off the frames of the door straight back and encase the ATM, so if anybody got into that glass, there, you're protected on the backside of the ATM, so.
Yeah,
That's
inside
it.
there would be a wall inside.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we know it's not gonna be transparent glass. then.
Yep.
Oh, of
that's fine.
course. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cozy corner. the record.
Paul Doyle.
Anthony Carmola?
And y'all swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Well, first, thanks for the opportunity to come up and talk to you about the project. This is obviously a very high-profile site. It's something that we've been working on now. We were chatting about it as we were listening to the other presentations. We actually started on this in late summer of 2023. The design concept that we bring before you today is actually, I guess we'd refer to it as either Plan C or Plan D. This thing has gone through several iterations, and we thought it might be helpful just to provide a brief history. I won't take up a whole bunch of your time with that. But when we first started on this job, the idea was to basically renovate the first floor into it was a restaurant space before it was Winnis. To renovate that space, and then on the 2 floors above, we would do apartments. And then there was a second storefront entrance here that would be used for some other future use, maybe another restaurant. There was a Mexican restaurant there before. Could be that, could be an office. As we got into the job, and we did some early conceptual design, conceptual planning. When we got into the job, we realized that the existing second floor here, where there were some apartments on the second floor was just never going to be able to make it. If we walked up there, the floor had a certain amount of bounce to it. It was not fire rated, of course. We have to have the fire rated horizontal assembly between a restaurant and apartments. A little bit of investigation showed that really that whole framing that provided that second floor needed to be replaced. So we said, all right, well, we're going to have to take out the entire second floor and build back a new floor, horizontal assembly, and move on with life. Then we got a little further into it and realized that this building right now has a full basement. If we walk over there today, there's a full basement down there. And that basement, best we can tell, has been dry. I don't know if I'm the only one that was stunned when I found that out, but it's dry. So when we got into the structural part of this, the existing perimeter walls that are load-bearing are triple white brick. There is no steel. There is no concrete block. There's no framing that's holding anything up. It's triple white brick. The mortar's falling apart. It's falling off the building. It's deteriorating before your very eyes. So we realized that we really, in putting back the second floor, we weren't going to be able to bear on those existing brick walls because we had no confidence that A, they could hold the wall or hold the load, and second, they certainly wouldn't comply with any current seismic code. That building starts shaking, triple white brick is just going to fall apart. So we said, well, the only way that we could do that is to basically build a structure inside the walls, which meant that we were going to be all of a sudden poking holes in our bathtub at the basement level because we couldn't just bear that kind of weight on a slab that we don't even know what's there for the slab. So then all of a sudden we're moving further along. We decided that it would be prudent to ask the contractor, we have a contractor on board already, to tear all the drywall only off the second floor because we needed to figure out which of the walls up on the existing second floor were helping to support the roof because we wanted to keep the roof. When we got up there and they tore the drywall off, there was basically no way to figure out which one of those, which were load-bearing and which weren't because they're all load-bearing. It's apartments up there now. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but the way that they scabbed all the roof framing together, I mean, part of a joist goes across and it's supporting joist coming into it, but then it's not here, it is over there. Basically, there was no way to make any sense of any kind of load path from the existing roof framing down. So every wall there was load bearing. And if anybody wanted to see it, I mean, we'd be happy to walk over there. We were stunned to the point that when we realized that, standing there on site that day looking up at this, that I called the building owner and had them come over because I knew that when I said, now we got to tear the roof off, he'd probably think I lost my mind.
For the board's information, I actually walked this building this morning with one of our architects. We went up to the second floor. She almost fell through the floor.
Ooh.
I mean, it gave way and we stepped back. And everything he's saying is true. When you start looking at the structural load from the ground all the way to the roof, there is no path to transfer that load from bottom to the top. I'm kind of shocked that it's actually there. And there's not a level floor in that building either.
If,
So,
if we go that far, I will tell you, I've been in that building about 3 years ago working on a little repair, and at which point I called the owner at the time and said, this building needs to go pretty soon, because it's, and without removing the walls, we could tell that building was not structurally sound in any way, so it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, and we had the same experience. You know, we spent a lot of time in there early on trying to figure out exactly how we could go about making this work. The other components that I need to make you aware of, the existing HVAC system throughout the building was absolutely at the end of its useful life. It was breaking down. In fact, we had negotiated with, or the owner had negotiated with Winna's restaurant about exactly when to shut down for the season, and they ended up shutting down 2 weeks earlier than they had anticipated shutting down because the HVAC system just died, just flat out died. The existing pipes that are in the building are all ancient pipes falling apart. The electrical service is inadequate. So when we got to the point of saying, all right, well, we're getting rid of the floor, we're going to have a problem with the basement, we start poking holes in our bathtub, we're anticipating water issues. We can't keep the roof. The MEP systems are all at the end of their useful life. We kind of had an epiphany and said, you know, at this point, what is it exactly that we're saving? You know, and it really worked out to, as you can see, this is basically a triangle. We were keeping one long wall, and a little piece of the wall here that we can't do anything with other than, we can't bear on it, we can't use it anything, we'd have to build everything inside. And that was all we were going to be able to keep. And so after some discussion and deliberation, the decision was made that how about if we just start anew? You know, how about if we not try to save a basement that really can't be used, not save exterior walls that can't be used, that aren't going to hold up well in an earthquake, that aren't energy efficient. How about if we do all these things and then do a new building that, because we understand the high profile nature of this site, we can design a building that pays respect to that, that honors that, that is very much in keeping with a lot of the things that you see. And so that's what we set about doing. With that, I'm going to turn over to Anthony. Anthony's been our point person. We've both been involved in this job for quite some time. So I wanted to give you kind of some of the history, some of the background, so you kind of understand how in the world did they get there, because we think it's an important part of this. So with that, got a question? No. Oh, all right. So I'll step aside and I'll just turn it over to Anthony, and obviously I'll still be here to answer questions and assist.
So once the decision was made to tear down the building, we certainly didn't want to lose the language that that building that's been there since the 30s had. I have a few pictures here. I don't think we had it up on the site, but some old 1934, 1954 photos shows you what Cozy Corner used to be. And at some point in its lifespan, someone stuccoed over it. Can you go to the existing photos?
which is all wavy and falling off on the back half.
Yeah, of course, it's so cute.
This design, it kind of gets rid of all the electrical and utilities that are on that alleyway that people are walking through as they're going to the new Nance Park and all that.
Well, there will be, I mean, we're going to clean it up. But I think before we get to this point, I mean, obviously at some point in its history, it went from a beautiful brick building to this, somebody stuccoed over it for some unknown reason.
Probably the brick started leaking.
Most likely.
Probably so.
So we're going to try to bring back the brick look along with the kind of the nature of how the language was set up originally in those photos, where, you know, the first floor was a retail or restaurant component, and it was architecturally delineated that way. The nice brick pilasters with the insets for the residential that was up above. And in an old photo, there was some nice marquee canopy to kind of emphasize the entrance to what was once the main entrance to the restaurant there. It's along this alleyway right here. It's always been a little bit gnarly. As you can see, it's not a very nice thing to look at as you come down Main Street. We're going to try to clean that up a little bit as well. Maybe if we want to go to the first floor, I can kind of show. Yep. So Main Street along here, we're going to try to dining room for the restaurant on this first floor, main entry at the corner. Try to delineate it. As you get back here, we've created a separate entrance for the second and third story apartments. Currently, the the way you get to the apartments is just a dull, single door off the main street. And we wanted to give it a little bit more presence, a little bit more location to the parking lot that's in the back of Nance Plaza. But we also wanted to give a little bit of glimpse from the corner here and not hide it from, from the main street. As you can see here, this language here that we've kind of created with our vertical hardy board siding continues down here, kind of try to emphasize that this is residential entry as opposed to the restaurant use of paneling and aluminum clad French door openings. Utility area will still be maintained along the back because we still need a back door exit way from the restaurant, a place to bring in all the food and bring out the trash. We have a fire riser room along the back. The current building doesn't have any sprinkler system whatsoever, so we have to introduce that into the new building as well.
And one thing, with really only 2 exterior walls to work with, we have to obviously put meters and those kind of things someplace.
Sure.
So, this was we thought the best option. We certainly didn't want it on Main Street. I think that kind of goes without saying, and we certainly don't want it on the most high-profile corner of the building. So really, the place that we kind of tucked all those things together was as far away from the most populated areas around there that we could get.
It will eventually be kind of in between these brick walls, in between these 2 doors right here. Some of the other things we're trying to do is de-emphasize the utility doors along here with painting them in a color that's kind of blends in with our brick decision. Our brick decision is one that kind of speaks a little bit more to a residential feel, where it's a little bit more hand tumbled. It's got a little bit of color variation into it. We also want to introduce perhaps a colored mortar, more on the color code of white, so that the brick can pop a little bit, give it a little bit more presence on this very important corner. It's not coming out very well, but we do have a taupey beige color for our vertical V-groove siding pieces here. I think the other pieces of metal around our aluminum clad, our curtain wall windows, our cornice up above, our balcony railings, we're all kind of looking more like a dark bronze color that'll kind of, again, pop against the beige. And in our color scheme down here at the bottom for the restaurant where we have our panels, we're looking at more of a color that'll blend in a little bit with that dark bronze color of the clad as well. I think with that, you're probably going to have a lot of questions. And please ask as many, because you've been working on this a little while, so I'm sure
May I make a couple of comments, please? I think we all realize, first of all, historically, this building is not protected in any way.
Right.
Historically, it has had a lot of changes over the years, but I think most of us realize or experience the fact that the building has not been maintained and it's in very bad shape. And obviously, we all know that trying to preserve that is monetarily not a good idea. There's not much to actually keep.
Yes.
I do like seeing some of the historical things in these old pictures, and I do see in some places you have tried to incorporate some of that.
we did want to pay respect to what was there.
You
We didn't want
have.
to like just rebuild
You
it.
have.
Yeah, we didn't want it to be a 2026 version of the very same building.
Right. I may want to see a few more things, details done, to maybe make it a little bit more respectful. But I think you've done what you had to do.
For me personally, I think it's a huge upgrade for the area. I think the only thing that I kind of missed from the old building to what this new is the little bit of undulation in the parapet, kind of accentuating those piers that are coming up. You kind of carry that old detail from the existing to the new.
Kind of like the crenellations that
Yeah,
are at the top.
yeah, that's one thing, yeah, absolutely.
I think that would
Yes.
kind of put the finishing touches on this building that still pays a lot of respect to what was there.
Agreed.
But once again, I think the brick you selected, based on the brick that I was seeing inside this morning, is very complimentary to what was there historically. I mean, obviously you can't get 1930s brick anymore.
No matter how hard you
No
try.
matter how hard you try, there's always gonna be something different about it, but, I mean, I personally like the balconies. I think you're given what could become actual residential units downtown, a feature where people would actually wanna live there. I think it's a huge improvement to the alleyway going between that and Grand Strand Brewing. Now you're looking over a parking lot. I think this board probably realizes with the theater renovation, I mean, a lot more of that building was supposed to be preserved than what was able to be preserved. And I think if you got into this, I mean, I don't think you've done it. I mean, if it was me personally, that building would have been on the ground before I even came to this board. But, once again, that's y'all's right, it's not historically protected, but, kind of surprised it's just still standing after walking through it this morning anyway, but, I'm in favor of it if you just kind of make those changes to the parapet to speak to the previous.
I think the other thing that bothers me a little bit, I really like the fact that you've given the people some outdoor space. Everyone needs to have a place to get outside, and that's very important for this. I think the color, the white underneath the balconies is a little too glaring for me in reference to the historical nature, maybe.
Yeah, one thing, and it doesn't show up on this rendering at all, is we are going to give it a little bit of the same V-groove texture along there, so it at least has a little bit of shadow. The color is something that Paul and I have been playing around with. Should it be the same beige? Is that going to look a little bit too mundane? Should it be dark? Is that going to give it too much of a dark shadow?
Well, see, I thought about that.
yeah.
I think you should you may have to experiment with that, but I'm leaning darker. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
How big are the balconies? As far as how far out do they protrude?
This side, 8 feet, alley side, 6 feet.
To me, when I look at that space, all the bronze on the first level looks so heavy comparative to the building itself. And again, looking at the images from the 50s, the 30s, no, the older images.
34,
34, 54. It seems a little lighter. I'm not opposed to the way the building looks, and perhaps you lighten it up slightly. But to me, the lower level looks very heavy. The dark windows makes the building look a little more imposing. But that's just a visual comment as to if I were on the street, it looks heavy to me, and as opposed to the upper brick part.
I think the color, there's options on the color down at the bottom. Again, like I said, we were trying to find something that pulled from the brick as well as the metal aluminum clad and railings, and kind of just tie that in.
Do you have a sample of that window color with you, by chance?
And you're absolutely right about the darker color, and while, as Anthony said, there are definitely options here that we can look at, but typically when you have a base like that, and this is definitely a building that's sitting on a base, when you make those lower floors darker, they just look, even though there's nothing different about it structurally, it just visually looks like it's going to do a better job of holding up the weight of the building.
Well, it looks like it grounds.
That's understandable, but as I'm looking at, and being a native of the area, just looking at that, thinking, okay, how would I want that to look like it used to, but in today's form, something lighter, and then perhaps that stuccoed area be the brick itself, to have some depth there. This is just visually, as a visual.
I mean, after the bottom space is activated, it'll light up because of the light and everything protruding. And that'll make a difference in itself.
One other thing that we should point out, and the zoning ordinance tells us that from the first floor to the underside of the structure above has to be 14 feet.
Right.
So that's pretty far up there. And you can kind of tell by the scale of the people, those balconies are way up in the air. I mean, there's not even the best jumper in the NBA is gonna jump up there and touch that. So it is very, very high. So I mean, and the point of that is that I think it can be perhaps a little darker. I don't know that I would go as dark as what we have in the base, but
No, I don't think so that way. I think just just a visual, they look a little detached, maybe. That's, it's.
The balconies?
The other side.
Yeah.
I think the texture
Well,
is
I
a
love the
good
balcony.
solution for it. I don't know that I would want to see those darker. I
Well,
mean,
no,
you're-
I'm saying this color, I'm saying dark, the color of the stucco, I think white maybe is not.
Even if it were cut,
I'm
if
being-
it was
It's
stucco
not
color was
stucco.
cut slightly.
Well, this is just picking.
I know, I mean, I'm thinking of it, we're looking at it from a viewpoint that we're not
That's
going
true.
to be able to see.
Well, this direction,
Walking that
yes.
area as a pedestrian, I don't
Yeah.
really want to look up and see a dark color balcony.
I think
The
those are
white,
balance issues.
yeah, I think the light one with the V grooves and
Well,
some
you know,
texture.
I appreciate everyone's opinion on the
Disappearing
board.
from the
I'm
sky.
just kind of talking out loud.
Yeah, that's, as in visually looking at it,
Yeah.
I'm just talking out loud.
I think at the very least, we know we want to give it texture.
Yeah.
We don't want it to read as flat.
Well,
And-
that's
and-
the thing, it is reading, that's very.
Yeah.
yes.
You're right, it is, and I think, if we had I don't know that zooming in is gonna necessarily solve that, but, it's not stucco, just so we're clear, it is a hardy board, a fiber cement board that's got those grooves, it's a
Grooves,
V
yeah.
groove that, yeah.
And
we've
that
got
makes a
sample
difference, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just get
That's the actual color and not the taupey color that's shown.
No, that's just showing you the texture.
The texture,
Okay.
okay.
You got the color?
Yes.
Just go ahead and dump that back out.
Yeah. Dump it out.
Got it all here buried. There's the paint color for the dark here, it's not low.
That's nice.
I like that.
Again, thinking, pulling some of the color from the brick,
For me personally, I would just get the.
May I see that, please?
elevations in the parapet, but
Yeah, the parapet changes is actually a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
More than just paying homage to that building, it's actually a very nice feature.
Oh, it is, nice detail.
Would you do that with metal, or would you do that with the cast metal?
given,
I
given
like
that
it. I
extra
like it
height
so-
there,
I
I
like it
think
lighter.
you could do it with,
I don't
metal,
like
to
the
be
yellow.
honest.
It feels like it's so far away, it's
Especially with the
losing
brick.
what you feel with
Things too
cast
yellow.
stone.
With the brick, yeah, that's probably.
But that does look good.
Where is the-
I like that.
Can I see the brick,
The
please?
brick.
I guess they're trying to pick up the yellow in the brick.
And that's the thing, it's gonna look even more yellow.
Well, you're right, it is. But there is a lot of yellow in that brick, that's.
Yeah, just lightening it up slightly would make a huge difference.
Thanks.
When you go with the white
Listen,
grout.
Surprise, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
white grout's
he has
fine.
the
Especially with
grout.
the white
Now with
grout,
the
I
grout.
mean, it's gonna look even more
You're
yellow.
holding-
I've been sitting here
I
fiddling
will
with it.
add to
Looks like,
Or-
Your presentation.
Van is gonna be in trouble.
Yeah,
my table.
here we
Oh,
go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice combination. Do you know if the rendered signage is going to be what they're going for in terms of, in the future when they come back in front of us for signage, or is that just placeholders for the moment?
Yeah, lighter.
I think we're leaning more
Yeah.
towards
I
that's
said
what,
just go
that's what
light,
we're
yeah,
looking
the
for,
ground
to
color is
signage.
yellow.
Obviously, we know we have to come back before you for
It
that,
fits the
but.
building very well, that's what I'm wondering, if
Yeah.
it's just an architectural element at this point, or this is kind of
No,
what we're
this
shooting
is the
for.
direction we intend to go.
Very nice.
We're
I
leaning,
bet-
we're leaning toward the grout
And the
color.
signage over the canopy in the front.
No, not quite
We
that.
run into a lot of architectural, especially conceptual,
I
that
got no
don't
problem with the
consider the
building, the way the
signage.
building looks itself, except
And
for the
it's
slight
very
color
nice to
color
see it,
change.
very well planned ahead.
And then I like the
Looks very
top
good.
detail.
The only
Yeah, the top
thing
detail.
we're talking about is the number itself, so, internal.
And that's just a minor, in my mind, just a minor thing, just a color shift.
Yeah, and the top, and I think it's really nice.
Are you taking questions and comments from the floor?
In a minute.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the board?
Are there apartments, short-term, long-term?
Long-term.
They'll be long-term
And
rentals?
it's 5 apartments total, and they're not repetitious, they're unique because of the shape of our property.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Oh,
figure out.
absolutely.
I'm like, how are you getting 5?
It's 5 unique apartments, and the second floor is 2 two-bedrooms, and the third floor is 3 one-bedroom.
Unique makes the apartment better, actually, I think, for artsy people who we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
live down.
I mean, trust me, it's gonna be a really cool space for them.
Yeah.
You can
The
see
windows
it,
that you
it on
see
the
here,
plans.
on the floor plans, those are in the public areas of those units, the living room specifically. And although the building right now only has 2 floors, so we can only get up to approximate where you would be on the second floor, the views are amazing.
So I'm
The third
sure-
floor is gonna be even
That's,
better.
That's great.
It's gonna be
But
very,
like
very
a
nice.
long-term annual lease rental.
That would be the idea, yes.
Yeah, with lobby entrance down here for them, kind of a private entrance, secure.
Alright. Anything else from the board?
Good.
Alright, just a second. Take a little public comment. Do I have anything just right?
Sure.
Sure. Would you like to speak?
You asked for public comment now?
Yep.
Can I say one thing
Yep,
before
you
you
go
do,
ahead.
Jeff?
You've got to come up and get sworn in before you can say anything.
I just have a quick comment. Oh, God, I'm so stupid.
Still got to get sworn in before comment.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Gotta get sworn in before you put the microphone.
Your name for the record, ma'am?
Carolyn Mates, M-A-T-E-S.
And you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Well, I do.
All right. What do you have for us?
Okay, so I'll sign this in 1 second. I just have a quick question. How does that fit into the rest of Main Street? This is the corner, when you go down that way, from this corner to where the theater's gonna be, which is part of my family's history. We all grew up on this street where the Cozy Corner, then you had Miss Israel, and then you had the Broadway, then you had J&J Drugs, then you had my mother's store, Helen Mates, then you had the dime store, and you go on around to Vesta Cordis, the Seven Seas Grill was on the other corner. So I don't understand how the balconies in this more contemporary building fits into the rest of Main Street.
Well, I think it's the next evolution for Myrtle Beach with pay and respect. I mean, when we're looking at these pictures from 1954 and 34, I mean, I would say that this building actually pays respect to the history of the original building more than
The
what
stuff that was
today's
there now,
does.
yes.
I mean,
I guess my question is, there's not another building on Main that has balconies, and it's just a whole different rendition.
We can see your point, I
as to
think,
what's there.
but I think it's necessary for the usage. You know, we see your point, because there is a lot of nostalgia connected to this whole area.
and actually, we did see a project not too long ago that's going to be multi-story.
Yeah, we did.
Could
Eight
potentially
stories
be
with a lot
8
of
stories with balconies on it.
Right
So
at the edge of the block.
it's actually trying to reimagine and change this district, and that's part of all the work that's going
I
into
think
it.
for the district to be successful, you have to have residents there, not visitors. Even though we're all locals and we live here and we want to go there, you have to have people that are leaving their apartment and walking down to the restaurant downstairs.
But plus, you need a little outdoor space for
You
someone.
look at Greenville, you look at Atlanta, you look at all these places that have done this already, and that's the combination that you have.
It is.
I get it, I really do, I honestly, I get it, but I thought the original plan was to close off Main Street and have that mostly green space right there.
Well, and one thing I would add, if I may, when you have areas where apartments where people are living and they're enjoying, like the evening is going to be tonight, it's going to be beautiful. They can sit outside. When you have eyes on the street or a green space, as opposed to having just a window there, the more eyes you get in a public area, the safer it's going to be. And there's all kinds of studies that would back that up, and the examples that were given in Greenville and Atlanta and other places
Well,
certainly support
I
that.
get that, all you have to do is go to Conway and see what a beautiful job they've done on preservation, and, anyway.
Our hope is that the balconies are the first step into the future of that green space that's going to be there and help activate that entire area, not just on the ground level, but from up above. People down on the green space can see what's happening, the activity up at the apartments, vice versa.
But we do appreciate your perspective very much. We can understand the past, because I'm a historical person. I want to keep as much as I can, so people don't. But at the same time, it has to evolve somewhat. I don't think get rid of it all, but it does have to evolve a little bit just for usage.
And this being one of the first buildings still in that entire area that's being redeveloped, I think it's an important conversation to have, because really what we're doing right now is sort of setting the tones for future investors and future developers to kind of take whatever approach we would see fit in that area, and paying respect and homage to an older design, bringing in some of those characteristics is very important in order to preserve that historical feel that everybody's talking about and everybody likes. But I do agree that we have to have some residential elements in order to sort of jumpstart that desire for people to want to be there, live there, and I think balconies are a huge part of that, especially as you go upper levels. And like you said, that building that we looked at is also got the same feel. It's a very narrow building, much taller than this, and it had a ton of balconies on it. Again, it activates that space.
And where is that new building coming?
That's the very edge of that block.
The other
Right next to Lovely Law Firm, closer to this side.
Oh, okay.
That
So
strip of
close
land
to
that's vacant.
Mashburn? Over in that
No,
area?
other corner.
No, the other side, closer to the gas station. The end of this,
Oh, gotcha.
The end of this block,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Oh, yes, okay, I see what you're talking about. I'm just saying too that, we can't lose the history that Myrtle Beach was built on. I can see improving it, and, I think people living downtown is a great idea. It just seems out of place, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By chance you sign it?
I did.
She did.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Somebody else? Yes, sir.
Did a good job. I don't know about the swearing in, but I'll go for it. How's that?
Well, if you want to speak, you got to do it.
Well, last time I did, I got a divorce, I think.
Name for the record, sir.
Joe McVeigh Jr.
You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do indeed. I've been here 65 years, so I'm a landmarker myself. And my background in history is I know every building there. I know the basement. The basement wasn't always dry. We had a lot of margaritas down there.
That's true.
We had a lot of gambling down there.
Different kind of drive.
Yeah, right, different, and the apartments, I've spent a night or two in the apartments. I grew up with Dino Thompson, who spoke at the library the other day and talked about the history of that building, and that's where he grew up, in that building, in the apartments up above. So, what I'm here for is, I can't understand the election, if I remember, and I do remember, but the election was better than 2-1 against the mayor's downtown program. People had enough. At that point, they'd spent $118 million. I still don't know what the plan is. I have average intelligence, so I'm not sure yet what we're doing, but we've got $118 million in. And these gentlemen have done a good job, but what the owner didn't do is a thing called due diligence. And the owner is a popular and well-known broker in this town, and he's a real estate broker.
Chairman, the questions aren't in line with.
Yeah, we've got to look at what's before us from an aesthetic standpoint. We don't get into money, we don't get into elections.
Well, then, all right, what I'm asking is that you take the building as it is, all the problems it has, and get somebody to build the building like it is.
You want to do it?
Do what?
Do you want to do it?
No, I think, well, I didn't buy it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
Do you want to do it
if
though?
I'd have bought it, I'd have known what I had to do. I wouldn't come here and ask you all to help me do what I want to do. My understanding is we're going to preserve downtown. However you want to talk about it, we're going to save downtown. And we're straightening out streets, I don't know why. But I won't get into any politics other than to say that This property was bought, this property was bought, my understanding, to preserve the downtown area. Preserve it. It's part of that package, that 118 million so far, that all goes together. And now this, very nice, I like it. But it's not the cozy corner. That's not what it is. I've eaten in the restaurants there. Like I say, I've spent a lifetime in that building. And that will look very nice somewhere. But please, please never again talk about Greenville or Charlotte or someone like that. They don't have what we have 2 blocks away. It's called Big Blue. We're not those places. And I'm for all those places. I do real estate all over the southeast. I go to resorts, that's my job. And I see changes. But to make, this is not a change, this is new. And it's not what they voted for, and that's not what they voted out either. So, without the politics, I would just like to urge you.
But this isn't city money, I'd like to point that out.
Well, I understand that, but it's our city result. I mean, it's our city that we have to put up with at the end.
I think there is a huge misunderstanding what the intent of, or not a misunderstanding, but maybe an ambiguity about what the downtown was supposed to be. It wasn't, as far as I know, and again, I'm a person of average intelligence as well, is it really a preservation effort? I don't believe so. It was always the downtown redevelopment and the downtown revitalization. And in order to redevelop and revitalize, you have to attract new money, you have to attract new resources, and you have to create something that's not currently there. The entire thought process of preserving what is there is literally what led to it being so run down and uninvestable and uninvested. So I think redevelopment, re-energize, revitalize is sort of the intent here, and we have to allow a step forward in order to attract more of money coming in. Otherwise, this whole effort would have been wasted, and nothing will happen down there.
So an example would be, we just take a strip somewhere, and it had a history to it or whatever. We don't care because we're going to get more money.
We do care, and I think we spent the last half an hour discussing how good of a job they've done bringing in those characteristics and the historical values into this. I mean, it's very important. You're 100% correct. It's 100% important.
Well, I'll end this by saying, I'm going to urge you, I can tell by the conversation, this ain't going to happen. But I'm not going to urge you to say no on this. I'm going to urge you to say, hell no on this. Stop this madness. Stop it now. The people have spoken. That's all I'm going to say. By a large majority, they've had enough of this stuff that's going on down here, these wheeling and dealings and LLCs and private deals. They've had enough of it. And they said that November 4th or 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And by the way, I appreciate the job you all do. I now understand you don't get paid. You couldn't pay me to do this job.
Is there anybody else?
Yes, I think there is somebody else.
Excuse me.
Your name for the record, sir?
Larry Lee Biddle.
And you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? You want to assume you're
I do.
a coastal fan?
That's the Eagle Scout sign.
That is, I was one.
I was one too. Yes, sir. I want to talk about what's happened at the home of Myrtle Beach. So, when was Myrtle Beach founded? Incorporated, excuse me.
It's been a while.
When? I mean, you're talking 34 and 36 in photographs. But when was it incorporated?
When I was born.
The 20s.
Huh?
I think it was 20s, wasn't it?
1938.
Oh, 38, okay.
Okay.
4 years after that picture.
What is the home of Myrtle Beach?
A lot of people know history-wise, that's where it began, yes, sir. downtown.
Where did the history of Myrtle Beach come from?
Chairman, the conversation before you is not pertaining to the building.
It is. It came from a city founded in 1732 across the Waccamaw, as the Lord's proprietors came up from Charleston through the Georgetown Bay on up the Waccamaw to the foot of the current bridge. F.G. Burroughs from Supply, North Carolina, $1700s. Long time ago. Conway is known, since I got here, as the home of Myrtle Beach. The only thing over here was sea, sand, and kudzu. My wife's grandmother named Myrtle Beach not for crepe myrtles, but for the wax myrtle, which is native. Crepe myrtles came from Japan. So my point is, history matters. As president of Burroughs Families of Companies, I restored 30 buildings in downtown Conway, all historic, built the Riverwalk, capitalized on the power of that, because I'm not from here. I was born in Aurora, Colorado. Fitzsimmons Hospital, my father fed the Flying Tigers of World War II, China, Burma, and India. We moved to Sacramento. My mother ran the switchboard for Ronald Reagan as governor. He remembered her when he was running for president, because he came to Columbia, the Township Auditorium, to about 2,500 people. And I said to him, President Reagan, he only lost one state. You may have remembered it, Minnesota. Interesting things in Minnesota. I am the founder of Jostens Renaissance when I was at Conway High School, which is in thousands of schools. So history matters, in my opinion, and preserving historic structures, even if they were built in 34, matters a lot. If you come to the first school in Horry County, it was on Main Street. It was the only school in Horry County. My wife went to that school. She's sitting here. We've only been married 63 years. Same woman. Well, it's okay. She's waving back there and smiling. But anyway, she has a cane used on me, which is a good thing. I need it too, don't we all? I'm just saying, basically, that Dino and Dino were with me in summer school for Western civilization. They were in that building. You know why? Because at the University of Georgia, where they went, you couldn't master Western civilization with the other 4 courses you needed to take. So I ran the summer school at Coastal Carolina in the second building, Athenaeum Hall, and the second baseball coach after Dick Singleton. So they could take Western Civ in 6 weeks every day. And we ran that a lot because Western civilization is forever. And I'm a product of St. Mary's College of California with a Centopicon, which is the 100 great books. And you sit around with a professor and discuss the work in seminar.
So
And the
Chairman,
kids who
where's
used
this
Cliff
conversation
Notes
going?
were expelled the first week. No Cliff Notes, no shortcuts, none of that. So all I'm saying as a Westerner, who is now an adopted son, who just finished putting in the Charters of Freedom in downtown Conway, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and all the amendments, lit 366 days a year, because leap year they're lit at night. Same documents that are in the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. I've seen them, but boy, when you go in there, you can't do anything in there. You can't photograph them, you can't step them off, you can't do any of it. I'm just saying that once a sense of history or historic structures are not preserved and captured for what they are, we lose. I will invite anyone in this room to come spend the morning with me in downtown Conway. It starts early, and it ends up with a gourmet meal in our kitchen by my wife, who learned to cook in Madrid. She's a chef. And you would love all of it. And I do it all the time. I just talked to a guy yesterday who was a Marine I met at the pancake supper. He said, "I'm coming." I said, "I know. I know a lot about the Marines." Billy Alford was one of those. Mark Singleton ran Camp Lejeune. History will always mean something to this community.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Biddle.
Anybody else? All right, you got anything else to add?
I don't think so, no.
Anything from the board? This is here as a conceptual final. Either we vote on it, or you downgrade it, make a few changes.
My opinion is, I mean, I think there's some question in color, or at least the shade of color.
I think some conceptual ideas that can be addressed.
And then the cornices that you asked for at the time, you see it.
We'd like to see that first.
Yeah, conceptual might be better. You know, it's conceptual final. I like the product. I think it takes it into context of the pictures that we're looking at of the past historical stuff. I understand it's not the same material that's being preserved, but they are trying to replicate it as best as possible with a little modern twist to it.
I agree with it, but I agree with exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think we should downgrade to conceptual.
Make a motion to downgrade to conceptual.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Huh? All in favor?
We just want to maybe see some of those things.
Sure, I understand completely. So it's really about color refinement and then the regulations at the top.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's the main thing, and maybe,
Well, one thing we can do is try to improve the lighting on the model, because I don't think we've done ourselves any favors
that
here.
would probably be a good idea.
Yeah,
by
that
just
may,
using
that may
the
help with the
standards.
darkness.
Yeah, yeah, because you're probably going to put lights underneath those
Oh,
lower
yes, for sure.
balconies, because they end up being canopies, so, okay.
Mr. Thing?
Yeah.
Name for the record.
Brown the thing.
Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir, I do. This is more a question for you guys, but when you have this reveal,
The projection out,
the projection out, how far does that step out?
I want to say it's 18 inches.
And then you're gonna go up and try to build another cornice at the top. I just think it gets awfully busy at the top when you have that, when you have this projection. And then you're gonna, it's almost like you gotta beef up the top some more to do that little undulation that you were talking about.
I don't think you gotta beef up the top. I think if you get 6 to 8 inches of the undulation at the piers, it reads from a distance, so as you're coming down on Kings Highway 501, it's one of those, like I said, when you kind of look at this 1934 picture, I mean, it just kind of reads.
It's gonna make it iconic.
It will, yeah, it will.
Yeah, it will.
And I think that's why we like to see it.
It'll respect, it'll be the.
How do I argue with that?
It's better than whimsical.
Okay, I just, looking at it from here,
And it may not read like we're kind of imagining, so I
That's
think
right.
we
That's
see
why we
it.
wanna see
It may
it.
just be,
Yeah.
go back to the flat.
okay, that was all, I appreciate y'all.
Pardon me, I've been sworn in and have one thing to say. I'm on my way to Costco to get my ears checked. I can't hear you people half the time, but it's me, not you all. It's a nice meeting though, and again, don't ever invite me again, and don't ask me to ever serve on this committee.
Thank you, Mr. Rigbad. Okay, regulations and color refinement.
Yeah, I think, the other thing I'd like to see, I think there could be some exterior lighting.
Yes.
Kind of on those columns in between those storefront windows, that'd
We
be a
have
very
them
nice
shown.
touch as well.
Yeah, if you could show the exterior elevations,
I think more of a cut sheet on them.
well,
Oh, cut sheet?
yeah.
Once
Okay,
again, you may want a little bit more historical fixture for just that area as
Yeah.
opposed to, I think those are cylinders up
They were
down.
they were pretty much trying to like go away, but then let the light kind of light up the
Well,
building,
that's
because
also a good idea.
we didn't want to bring too much emphasis to the fixture.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the
It
picture
blends
just kind
with
of
the
goes away and
architecture.
just this illumination.
Let the,
Yeah.
thinking about it at night with the glow kind of like lights up.
Yeah, it blends in the architecture.
Yeah.
That's good way to do it.
okay.
Right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's get your name on this piece of paper.
You're anonymous.
Have some more here.
Thank you.
I'll get to your way in just one minute. Moving as fast as I can.
All right, Jonathan Harbour, names for the record,
Marcus Waddles, David Picarella.
and you all swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Yes,
Looks like we're trying to do a glass exterior on the north side.
Yes, sir.
This is just to enclose the open balconies that are there now.
Current state, there's an open air walkways getting to each of the units. So we want to enclose that as well as the entry ramp. You can see there'll be a enclosure at the entry ramp that comes around, so basically you're securing that building rather than it's all open air, open stair to get up.
So there was like cable.
Yeah, this one's actually, was an older option where we're not gonna go with any of those, solar shades anymore. It's really the northeast facade, those don't give you much for any kind of shading. We have a rendering further down. And the other add was that all of these existing railings be swapped with a glass railing.
And from the exterior, you really don't see that cabling,
No.
actually.
That's really, that'll be refined. This is kind of conceptual
Sure.
view only with our structural engineer.
Yeah.
Pretty thin slab rather than bearing on that. And each one will have a kind of continuous
What kind of frame
storefront.
color are you looking for? On the system?
On this one, kind of like a bronze is what we're showing in here.
On the north side, are y'all AC in that, or, I mean, you have to do the fire?
There'll be some split systems.
Where
to
would you be
condition
putting
it.
all that equipment now?
We would put the new split systems likely on the roof, small condenser unit, and then an indoor, probably the indoor unit in the ceiling.
Ceiling cassettes or wall?
It would be surface, kind of a surface cassette.
Surface mount.
Yes. And again, we don't have the mechanical engineer on yet at the conceptual stage. The client's just hired us for make sure design concept is good with the board, and then we'll have a full
Yeah,
team.
it would be important to see where the equipment's gonna be put. I mean, I'm
Understood.
assuming there's some fire stuff you're gonna have to put,
Yes.
extraction, smoke extraction.
I
So it'd
think-
be interesting to put
I
all
think
that.
for this, we need a sample, definitely need to sample the glass. I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah,
glass
sure.
selection's gonna be
No, I agree.
very important on this.
Yep.
You know what glass system you were planning on going with?
We don't have that finalized. Right now, we're assuming we're gonna have some sort of structure just for the wind load to not, separate this up as separate each floor. We'd kind of be sitting proud of all of that floor for kind of one continuous
So it's full curtain wall.
Yes.
Some high dollar stuff.
That's
Man, it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's quite a, y'all ran budget on this?
They put an initial one together, but again, we're conceptual.
Building the whole.
Okay.
It might be easy.
We had to add structure to the building to support.
Maybe.
Wow.
Basically the same facade that supported that wind load now, plus all of the overhangs has a little more uplift. So we'll kind of streamline what that wind load's getting, but obviously once we get a structural engineer on board, they'll evaluate. So yeah, the glass facade and then the glass railing.
I think there are some details we need, but, I mean, is there any objection to this plan from the board, other than working those details out?
Yeah, to see everything,
Yeah.
samples.
All right. go forth.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hope we see you back once y'all get through those details.
Absolutely.
ADK.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon,
Names for the record.
Angie Knight.
And you elsewhere to tell, oh, Nick,
Nick 9, I'll get there.
you elsewhere to tell the truth, tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right.
Do you? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Angie Knight. I'm more well known as Angie Knight of Grant Spring Law Group than I am of ADK Holdings. This is the holding company for the office I have on Broadway Street. This is kind of a full circle moment for me because the first time I was standing in front of CAB was my very first office that I was renting to get a sign permit, and I haven't been back to see you guys since. But since then, about 17 years now, I've got 3 offices and about 30 employees. And so we're running out of room, actually, and this is what brought on this idea for this project. And what we want to do is add a second story to my Broadway Street location. It is my busiest location. We bring the most money in our business is at our Broadway Street location. It's been around the longest. Actually started down the street at another address and went up and down Broadway until I bought this building. So I've never left Broadway Street, and I love the area. This is the side of the building, and there's an existing mural on there that we've been previously approved for a while back when y'all were doing a lot of murals, which we love. We want to add the second story. It would be hardy plank. You can see it goes straight up all the way on the edges, but what you can't see is behind those walls are inset balconies on each end, front and back. On the front side where Broadway Street is, and on the back side where the alleyway is. So that's just a small, on the alleyway rendering, that's just a small balcony with a door, one door. And then this is the front rendering for the front Broadway Street side. And we would have a door and a window on either side, and of course a railing for that. We actually were not originally planning on doing a balcony on the front, but through this process we sort of decided that, yeah, you know what, it might really look good. So this is our rendering. This is all this in the front, and the bottom layer is all current. This is it's the top layer that we're looking at doing. What questions can I answer?
Go back to your elevations real quick.
Sure.
I just got one question. So it looks like from the front street view, you're sloping the roof from right to left, kind of towards the side street.
Mm-hmm.
And then scroll down just a touch. But from Broadway to whatever the name of the one is in the back, the alleyway in the back, why is your roof sloping in that direction as well? Why not hold that elevation flat?
Well, it actually kind of gives it more of a front, forcing the view up. It's an inclined rake, but the whole idea was trying to control the water flow from not going over the wall onto the neighbor's property. This is his urban redevelopment. And just collect it all in one location in the back.
Down the back, right, back left.
So you're trying to do it all in one downspout?
Yeah, just bring it all back to one back corner.
What happens to the live oak that's on the street? I mean,
Stays. You
It
just
stays.
But it just seems like it's hitting it. I mean, the renderings, I don't think. so.
Yeah, we couldn't really get a good picture of it. It is there. I did talk to the tree guys. I called them, like you guys asked, had them come out, they looked. I was not there when they did, but I did talk to them on my phone. I explained showed to them the branches that we would need to trim back. They said they didn't see an issue with that. They were gonna talk to their boss. Is it Tim or Tom? I did leave a message for Tom. I did leave a message for Tom about a week and a half ago. Haven't heard back. Asked him to get in touch with you guys to let you know that they didn't see an issue with it. It's 2 limbs.
What she's referencing in our review is we told them they had to communicate with our Parks and Rec department. That's who she's referencing.
So you're gonna pretty much, by looking at that photo there, it looks like you're gonna pretty much square it up at that.
They're gonna Santee Cooper it.
Yeah.
You're not.
That's what it looks like.
I hope we don't Santee Cooper
I mean, our
it.
style, we would probably pull back the limbs to the main, but we're not gonna,
If you
They
can
just
see,
go straight line.
if
We're
you
not
can
doing-
see
we
the
don't do that.
leader that goes that
We'll
way.
We'll pull back the branch to the main leader.
Well, they need to leave that leader, and then they're just gonna take off those couple of branches that go this. I think if,
Is the Parks and Rec doing it for you, or is she gonna have to do that?
Parks and Rec said they would.
Okay, so y'all are gonna make it look right.
if
Okay.
it does, if they do
That's
it, then
better.
they know how to do it right. If they do it right, it won't be so bad.
It's
And they
this
do
one
work
right
with it.
here, this branch right here that's the biggest, I think, issue. And then there's one that slopes back that way over. So two branches that would need to be trimmed up. I love the tree. We actually did just sort of a posting online. We wanted to post where we put a tree house in the tree and said, hey, we're doing a second story, y'all. Because we love the tree. We thought, wouldn't that be wonderful if our second story really was a tree house?
I mean, I just think the second story just looks like it's lopped on there, and there's no character to it other than the slope and the balconies. That's just the way, I mean, my 2 cents on it right off bat.
What kind of character would
I mean,
you be
I mean,
expecting?
I don't know.
There's a problem with this connection between the
Yeah.
first floor and the second floor, and
Yeah.
maybe there's a way to resolve that.
Yeah, it's some
Perhaps
sort of
carrying that
chains.
brick up right above
Yeah.
the mural to the second floor, somehow to connect the two units
And
instead
then
of
along the side
making it look
here.
like two pieces, one slapped on top of the other.
In the whole.
I can
whole
tell you what
side,
you
or-
could
Not
do.
the
Go
whole
back to
side,
that
I would say
mural.
right past the
Hold on.
mural to
Go
carry
back
the
to
brick
that
up.
side elevation. What if you took that brick up,
That's-
where
that's my
where
point.
each one of those lights are, kind of creating these
Yeah.
brick
Column
columns
right.
up?
Yeah,
and
somehow
then
break
leave
that
the hardy
line
in
to
between.
where-
Yeah, because
now
it
it
just
looks like a
looks
joint
so
building.
lopsided.
That
yeah.
would, that would really help.
Especially with all the other buildings being
That's-
so steep.
100% the way I would have gone was this, to bring that up, to break that line, so it's no longer separated into two separate blocks. It's
Understand what I'm
two
saying?
floors. It looks connected, right now it doesn't look very connected, especially with the contraction.
What I'm saying is actually bring the brick column up, kind of right where these lines are,
And sort of
matching
in the
this
middle,
brick.
in between the
And then
windows, or.
infill
It
with
also
your hardy.
offers you a way to now reframe that mural, because when it was a one-story building, it was framed in by the roof line, and right now it just kind of looks like we picked the corner, slapped the mural in there. It's
I'd
still
almost say
not
that
gonna work.
there's an opportunity there to
Redo
expand
the
that mural
all the way
up.
Yeah, you gotta break through
Yeah,
that.
that would be nice.
And my other question to you, Nick, if you don't mind, that front balcony there on the second floor, is there a reason you framed it in and didn't let it go up to the roof for you? Because I think that's squaring up.
That was
to that
actually,
pitch roof
Because
a
the
little
Actually,
bit.
my
zoning
request.
allows it.
Yeah.
The zoning allows a balcony to project.
No, I'm fine with the projection. I'm saying
Uh-huh.
the reason the frame of that balcony is squared up against the pitched roof rather
Yeah,
than just
to-
going all the way up. to
Make
the
it
canopy.
private.
yes, I wanted that balcony to be more private. If I actually go out on that balcony, I really don't want anybody to see me.
So what I'm saying is the side columns would be fine going up to the roof, but why have
I
that
think,
top
I think what
soffit
he's
section?
saying,
The header
you
right
take
all the way
these
up.
straight
All
up to
the way
the
up.
roof
Like,
line,
you don't need that soffit there.
as opposed to having that facade, that.
I'm not actually
basic.
certain I like that idea.
It's your call. I'm just asking if there was a
I was asking.
I mean, I realize you have to approve me, but I also have to like it.
I was asking if there was a logic behind it, that's all it was.
No logic behind it, other than I really did want it to feel secluded. If, in the future I ever wanted to not have this be an office and wanted to turn it into apartments or something like that, I'm talking way in the future, guys, if that was even the case, I feel like it would be a comfortable place for somebody to have a residence
That's
if
agreeable.
it was a more secluded.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's agreeable.
But that's not happening yet. But in the meantime, I wanted it to be secluded for me, because this would be my office right here in the front, so.
Okay.
I wonder then if there's opportunity to maybe do a parapet wall at the very front in order to square that up, so you don't have that budding angle versus straight lines there. That's just one part that's really driving me
I
crazy.
think the tree's gonna cover that,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
gonna see it
that's
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
agreed.
To be honest, but,
I think if you raise that mural higher, you're not gonna see that either because of the tree.
like I said,
Well,
I
that's
think
a
there's an
possibility,
opportunity to kind of pull that mural up. So maybe that front section, you take the brick all the way up and then have a couple of columns down through, like I said, just to kind of tie the two together.
So you're talking maybe bring this as, well, right now it's all stucco. All this is stucco.
Or stucco, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
And
stucco.
I felt like the
I know.
stucco wasn't as nice looking as the hardy board.
I think we're just trying to figure out a way to, it's a lot of linear footage of
Uh-huh.
hardy board. So trying to break that
Break it
hardy up down the side in a way, and once again, if you bring the stucco up,
Something.
you could really enhance that mural up the
Is
side of
the
that
front
building.
stucco also, or is that brick? Is that where we're getting brick from?
They actually didn't put
That's-
stucco over the brick there. If you
Really?
drive by, you'll see it. That's why I was accurate.
Yeah, the front is brick.
The sides.
And then they
The
just
front
went
is
around the
brick.
side and
The
put
side is
stucco on
stucco.
it.
Yeah.
The whole street, 3 or 4 buildings in a row, all the same, very mundane, modernist 1952 simple brick with an awning building. You can even see them mirroring each other like it was the same developer over and over again. And what she asked for was kind of like a modernist approach to the top, which, you know, I've heard you guys aren't so fond of. So,
Well, I think that the approach we're taking on the second story here really mirrors a lot of what they did at Swig and Swine and a couple of other places that have modernized up and down the street. In that, you know, obviously there's not very many second stories been added on, but just the facades on the front that we've updated, as well as the facade on my front that I modeled after a little bit after Swig and Swine when I did that last year or the year before. So we've already updated the, you know, the downstairs facade, tried to bring it back into 2026.
I mean, I think the facade's complementary to some of the other stuff's there, other than
It
the
is.
balcony
I agree.
aspect, which,
Yeah.
once again, I
It
understand.
is.
I just think you just need to break up that lap siding on the side
On
a
the
little
side.
bit.
That's a good,
And ground it to the stucco below.
yes, that's a good. So it doesn't look detached.
I see what you guys are saying about it looking like bam, bam, just sitting
Yeah.
right on top of it. And I think we were hoping that this dark black band, right, might sort of blend them together, but I don't know that it is.
I think that dark black band actually
Separates
separates
it.
it more.
It does.
Okay.
you should try to draw black siding.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right.
It's true.
All right.
Is that the intent for the Hardee's, to be black?
Yes.
What color black? Tricorn?
It's right there. Wait,
Tricorn,
Yeah,
tricorn black,
That's better than neutral.
and,
yeah.
Also the trim, but the siding would be flat and the trim would be gloss.
glossy, which is what my downstairs already is. And then the white is already, it's like a off-white, what's it called? It's on there somewhere. Pale oak.
Yeah.
The white is called pale oak. So really sticking with all the colors we're already using, and just adding that second story.
Any other comments for the applicant?
And I think we covered.
Have you started the structural for this or not yet?
No, we have not, but it is, we do know that my downstairs level is all concrete block. So, I don't know, I mean, it's.
The walls are concrete,
The
cedar
walls are
blocks?
concrete center block,
Not all of
all of them.
them, not the front one.
Okay, the
The
brick.
front's not load bearing.
Right.
All right, Joel, take it outside.
So what do you guys think?
Well, I think we've given you some information to take and,
Few changes, and I think we can come back and go forward.
yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Next
thank
mill
you.
date's the 9th or the 19th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I got the numbers, there it is.
Anything from the media / public?
Does anybody wanna do an interview?
Negative.
Real quick,
Negative.
like 2 minutes. Try.
She tried. Anything from staff? Anything from the board? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Does anyone want to?
Negative.